All right, folks, and so certainly want to shout out our partners, Nissan, Amazon, and Buick. Folks, so you want to be sure to click the description in the links below to support those who support Black-owned media. All right, California Congresswoman Maxine Waters says that her Twitter account was hacked. She posted this tweet here. I have been hacked and my Twitter account has been erased. I know who has done this. I will take care of this, M. Waters. Now, Twitter responded to the claim with the following. We can't comment on the tweet, but as is standard, we have open lines of communication with her office and have worked with them to ensure the account is secure. At this time, we've identified no signs of account compromise. Joining us now is social analyst and diversity strategist Shireen Mitchell, digital analyst also based here in D.C. Shireen, glad to have you here. So, what do you make of this? The Congresswoman saying that it was hacked. Twitter said, we have no evidence. What's up?
Yeah, so there's two questions here. One is it her, congressional member account, which is the one she tweeted from, which says that she actually has access, or was it her personal account, which hasn't tweeted out since June 29th, I think. So I think the question is generally about which account. The second part is when people get hacked, when people use the word hacked, they usually mean that at some point they don't have access to the account, or somebody else has access and they can't get in. In many ways, that could be because, what happened in 2016, several Black women had their accounts hacked. People got into it. They spoofed their email accounts. They didn't have two-factor authorization, and they did remove their tweets and remove their followers. It has happened before. It doesn't look like a hack. So when Twitter says, "Oh, we don't see anything from our end," doesn't mean that there isn't something that didn't happen for the people who can't get access to their accounts. So at this point, we don't know which one specifically that she's talking about, but the responses I think that were happening were in reference to the fact that she was tweeting directly from her congressional member's account.
All right, so let's talk about this. Someone I know the other day actually had her account compromised. All of a sudden, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, and then she gets an alert says that her password had been changed on her email, on her social media account. Someone had hacked into it, and she got the alert immediately, made some changes to it. And this is something a lot of people just don't really think about when we talk about these accounts, realizing when you pick easy passwords or when you don't have a two-step authentication, you're asking for a lot of trouble.
You are. And you should have two-factor authorization for everything that you have in social media, especially things that you use a lot and you care about. And yes, this has happened before. Again, like I said, people have had their accounts spoof. Others have had someone, magically figure out your password because you may be using the same password across all your social media platforms, which you should not be doing. You can do something like LastPass or other third-party access points that allows you to have different passwords, but you should have a unique password for everything you have.
Okay,
now, here's the thing.
Hold on. So you said LastPass?
LastPass.
LastPass? LastPass. What's that?
Oh, it's a third party. There's others out there, but it's a third party tool that you can use that allows you to sort of store your passwords. You may not remember them, but LastPass does. And then when you go into these new accounts, you have a brand new, spanking new password for each one of those things that you can get access back into your accounts and not have to worry about having so many passwords that you can't keep up with. Because that's where we are in this age right now, is having too many accounts. And so we try to come up with a simple password that makes it easy for us to remember. But usually when people do that, it makes it easy for someone to break in.
And of course, you have, Apple has a particular feature now where it will alert you, hey, this password has been found on the dark web, and these are all the accounts where you're using it.
Yeah. So Apple has that. There are a couple of other features that you can sign into that allows that to happen. But yeah, that's the other thing that's important. Sometimes, from the tech side, they may get hacked, which gives access to your password, and that could get put out on the dark web. And so there's ways to just go out there and try to check on that. But yes, Apple is trying to do that. I think every platform that you're using should have some access point, but you can always go in and do your own security checks on almost every platform you have. To make sure that you have either two-factor authorization. You can also have what Google has this authenticator that you can use where it spurs a new number each time, so that within seconds, when you want to log into another in your account, you can go through that authorization so that no one else has that unique number, because only you could have it, because the system is generating new numbers for you. There's all kinds of ways to deal with this, but yeah, this is one of those moments where I feel like people need to understand, like this, if there's no other time like the present, change your passwords now.
Okay, so before I go to my panel, so let's say I'm on an iPhone or iPad right now. Where do you go to check your passwords?
It's usually under security. So
Okay.
on any one of your it says login or security. Those are the places that you always go check what they are. And for example, Google allows you to go through and see what's connected to your account, what's connected to your phone. Android has this. You can see what's logged into your phone. Some things you have logged in to your Twitter accounts, to your Google accounts that you've had logged in for so long, and you don't know if those companies have been compromised or not. So you need to make sure that you're doing like your own daily digital, cleansing, to make sure that you're like making, if you don't use Tumblr anymore and that has access to your phone, you should probably, disconnect it.
All right, questions from the panel. Let's see, who do I think is probably the most digitally challenged? It would be the Omega, DeMario.
Well, first of all, I just want to say I believe Black women, and especially Auntie Maxine Waters, Congresswoman Maxine Waters. And she says she was actually hacked, and I'm going to believe that before I believe Twitter. I really appreciate this segment. I appreciate this sister giving that great information. I'm not as technically challenged as Roland wants me to be, because I am an Omega, but I would like for you to expound on people like my mother, who's a lot older, who just not keeps saying she don't want to pay any of her bills online because of these very issues. Can you talk about that, why that's safe, and how to do that in the most safe way and to be safe on the internet?
It's so funny that people talk about not logging in for their bank account information. I actually was able to, years ago, it was a phone, like it was a dial-up, it was a phone where I could push buttons on a phone to get access to my bank information and to pay bills. So it's funny to me that people don't want to use a website, because it's so much simpler than having to dial up from a phone. But the security, especially for banks, like their level of security is higher than most other places, to be honest. I find that tech companies seem to be a little bit too lenient about their access points. We can go into a whole bunch of conversations about that. But when it comes to banks, that's the one place that not only are you secure, but the ways in which they have that security, now they're like, more banks now are making you do two-factor authorization as well. They're always checking your information and making sure it's that they have all those access points. Some banks are actually making it impossible for you to get in unless you get a phone call. So she can use, like, that's another way that she can have access and feel secure, because that phone number is going to be hers, and that phone call comes to her in order for her to get into her bank account. So believe me, the level of security on the banking industry is superb.
Monique.
Yeah, I don't think I have a question, except why won't her office either say that she did not tweet this or that it was an error? I mean, are we supposed to ignore the fact that she says her Twitter account was erased and it wasn't erased? Like, neither account was erased. Her 1.5 million followers are still there. The data is still there. Whoever tweeted that message had access to the account to tweet the message. And I've never seen Congresswoman Waters sign anything, M. Waters. So when I read that, I thought that was the hack, but then it just stayed up. So I'm just confused about all of this.
Not only did it stay up,
why they cleaned it up. There's been nothing since. So why are they being so quiet? I mean, I guess it's the crisis manager in me, but y'all are making a mess.
So not only did it stay up, there has been no tweets since. I double checked before
That's
coming
what I'm
on.
saying. I just looked.
and the account that isn't and hasn't been tweeting is the one from June 29th, which is her personal one.
But it wasn't erased.
No tweets have been erased. Now, don't get me wrong. It looks like some tweets were deleted on her representative account, which is being reported. I think the silence at this point is the question I think we all have in terms of why there's no more exchanges and no further conversation. So I think she thought that her other account might have gotten erased because there weren't that many tweets there, maybe 1,000 or so tweets from that account. So she clearly can't get in it to see it if that's the case, because it hasn't tweeted. And that may be the case, that there's someone who had access to that made it impossible for her to get into. She may have, again, left it open for someone else to have access.
Anybody else could have said that, hello, staff, protect Auntie Maxine at all costs. What's wrong with y'all? Why hasn't someone fallen on their sword by now? Why are you leaving this out here for shows to cover and for Twitter to deny? Somebody say they tweeted it by mistake. Somebody say they got hit by a brick and they tweeted and signed it. Somebody say she got hacked and that tweet was the hack. I'm giving you all kinds of options. Use one of them. Let's fix it. Let's fix it. That's all I do. I think I just fix it because
like you said, protect.
You don't know it.
Protect her at all costs.
But she can't get into her personal account and somebody else has access to it. Technically, it's hacked. So maybe they're still trying to confirm.
That is a great theory. Can you call them with that theory? I like it.
Robert, question.
I think many people, we want to follow the protocols that need to happen in order to secure our accounts. But most people are at this point in time suffering from password overload, just trying to remember the number of passwords for your main account, for your Twitter, your Instagram, your burner account that you go after the haters with, your banking information, logging into your student loans, etc. What are some either apps or services that can coordinate and maybe consolidate your passwords so that it's easier for you to keep up with it? And at the same time be secure.
She just told you. You're not listening.
Robert, where in the hell were you playing with one of your guns or something? I mean, like literally. No, like literally.
That's exactly what she said.
Literally, she gave it. Literally, she gave it. I asked again. No, Robert, I know Scott not here, but you're going to get a Scott Bolden ass whooping today because she gave it. I asked her to spell it. She spelled it and made it clear. What were your ass doing?
Hey, look, I'm the slow folks in the back. It's been a long day. I'm still at work. So can you repeat it for the slow people in the back?
Shireen, go on ahead.
It's called LastPass. LASTPASS.
Oh, Lord.
Last pass. Not puff, pass. Last pass.
Oh man.
Are there any?
You have to listen to black women before you can believe black women.
I was listening. I was listening, and I believed her. I didn't even ask her about the last pass.
Are there any others? Are there any others, Shireen?
Are there any other applications?
Yes.
Yeah, there are others. I'm telling you LastPass because it's probably the one that I trust the most. So I don't give out
That's
too many
fine.
others.
We good right there. there. So good.
But there are others.
All right, there are others. All right, got it. So, we appreciate that. If only Robert would pay attention to when the rest of us are doing the show. But we got it. Shireen, Mitchell, we appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for having me as always. This was fun.
All righty.
Unfiltered, man. It's unfiltered.
Somebody on the Angelo Sanchez on YouTube said Robert was probably playing Call of Duty while she was talking. That's what they said. All right, y'all. Folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment.
Oh, that spin class was brutal. Well, you can try using the Buick's massaging seat.
Ooh, yeah, that's nice. Can I use Apple CarPlay to put some music on?
Sure, it's wireless.
Pick something we all like. Okay, hold on. What's your Buick's Wi-Fi password?
Buick Envision 2021.
Oh, you should pick something stronger. That's really predictable.
That's a really tight spot. Don't worry, I used to hate parallel parking.
Me too.
Hey.
Really outdid yourself.
Yes, we did.
The all-new Buick Envision, an SUV built around you. All of you.
Time to be smart.
Roland Martin's doing this every day.
Oh, no punches!
Thank you, Roland Martin, for always giving voice to the issues.
Look for Roland Martin in the whirlwind, to quote Marcus Garvey again.
The video looks phenomenal, so I'm really excited to see it on my big screen.
Support this man, Black Media. He makes sure that our stories are told.
See, this difference between Black Star Network and Black-owned media and something like CNN.
I got to defer to the brilliance of Dr. Carr and to the brilliance of the Black Star Network.
I am rolling with Roland all the way. Honored to be on a show that you own. A black man owns the show.
Folks, Black Star Network is here.
I'm real revolutionary right now. Roland was amazing on that.
Stay black. I love y'all.
I can't commend you enough about this platform that you've created for us to be able to share who we are, what we're doing in the world, and the impact that we're having.
Let's be smart. Bring your eyeballs home.
You can't be black-owned media and be scared.
You dig?